World War II, propaganda was used to increase support for the war and commitment to an Allied victory. At first, women were hesitant about working in manly workforces because they didn't want to lose touch to their feminine side. So a propaganda poster, Rosie the Riveter, was released in order to prompt women to work in places such as factories. This icon illustrated how women can fill a manly role and still uphold a girly appearance. During World War II, the government didn't want any information about future plans against the enemy to be leaked, so in order to ensure that the information is classified, posters were made to fool the reader into thinking if they said any detail that related to the war, it could jeopardize America's stance in the war. As you can see, posters were not the only tool used to persuade citizens to keep quiet. They also created videos to signify the importance of not spreading private information pertaining to the war while maintaining a comedic tone to draw the viewer's attention.
I hope I meet some babes in Africa as cute as you are. Was it? Let my secret out. What was that I heard you say, my little sauerkraut? He wonders who in hell it was that let his secret out.
During this time of war, money was essential to the war effort. All the weaponry and material needed for the war had to be provided somehow, so posters were put together to urge Americans to purchase war bonds, which were certificates sold by the United States government to pay for the war. The propaganda posters conveyed the idea that since many men gave up their lives for an average citizen like you and me, one should feel obliged to help out in some way. This allowed average American citizens who were unable to serve in the war contribute to the war effort in a small manner.
Dates. Spend, save, spend, save, spend, save, spend, save, spend. And every dollar you sock away for taxes, my taxes. Our taxes that run the factories.
Propaganda images, created in times of war, revealed the tensions and fears ignited by the conflicts between nations. These images were sometimes racist and reflected typical stereotypes. Often, the Japanese were dehumanized in order to instill fear in the minds of Americans. World War II propaganda posters prompted culture and racial hatred that led to massive historical consequences for the Japanese.
Then from out of the west came another partner to make a silly axis of himself.
Hiya, Japanese, a sapperman, sneaking on with a dude. Just a Japanese, a sapperman, I'm a little crazy dude.
Also, in many cases, America was presented as the hero, and the other forces were left to be labeled as weaklings or unfit to rise up against America, to further emphasize the idea that America will take care of this issue. Rationing became an essential practice during the Second World War. The United States of America opted to encourage the public into adopting rationing policies because America only joined the war effort in 1941 and had not been stockpiling supplies before this. In order to ensure that the soldiers being sent overseas had enough necessities, the American government pushed the idea of rationing food supplies onto the public through propaganda ideas.
Of these foods, some people would get more than their fair share. Others would not even get what they need. But rationing assures everyone of his fair share. That is why your government is rationing canned fruits and vegetables and other processed foods. So the question arises, what method of rationing can be used so that each citizen may get his fair share of canned fruits and vegetables and other commercially packed foods?
Clearly, every war involves propaganda, and World War II saw plenty of it on both sides. It took many forms: posters, advertising, songs, comic books, and even motion pictures, and was used to educate and influence both civilian populations and the men fighting on the front. Thanks for watching!